All right, we welcome to the podium South Dakota. A reminder real quickly that this is a hybrid news conference. We have both in-person media and several others who are joining us via Zoom. We will take care of all in-person questions first, and then we will go to those who are in the Zoom waiting room. If you are a reporter joining us by Zoom, please use the raise hand function to indicate that you have a question. That's how we'll know to call on you. We also ask all reporters in person and via Zoom when you're asking a question to please identify yourself by name and media affiliation. We thank you for that. We welcome South Dakota head coach Don Plitzowite and Plitzowite. I had
That was
it right.
really well done.
I did
Good
that
job.
right.
You did.
And student athletes Chloe Lamb and Hannah Shervin. And Coach, we will begin with you if you would like to make an opening statement.
Well, certainly I thought our young ladies played with just an incredible amount of toughness, in facing Ole Miss, who is really disciplined. They're really tough. They really take you out of running kind of an offense of any sort. I thought our young ladies handled that with a great deal of discipline and poise. I thought we were able to battle early. I think getting on the board early was really important for us. We were really fortunate to be able to do that. And then I thought we were able to try to find ways to limit their opportunities at the rim. And I thought in the beginning of the third quarter, they were able to get the ball around the rim a little bit better again, and so we had to make some adjustments. But overall, just really, really proud of our young ladies for the toughness that they played with and the discipline they played with and their composure. And then to our fans, we had an incredible group of Kyle fans who came and joined us, so that was a lot of fun.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. We'll get back to questions for you in a minute, and now we'll take questions for our student athletes. Again, Chloe Lamb and Hannah Shervin. And if you will raise your hand, you go first, but again, raise your hand. We'll take care of all in-person questions first.
All right, Jay Elson from Midco Sports, ladies. Would love to hear both your perspectives on this, but start with Chloe. This was the goal: win one, get here and win one. And now that you've done it, what are the immediate emotions that you're feeling from it?
Just a lot of happiness right now, especially, we got to have that moment with our fans and sing the school song with them. Something that none of us have been a part of yet, and to do that as a group and a total collective effort, I thought, on both sides of the floor, to be able to do that and then celebrate that moment was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree. This is something that as a group of seniors we've been talking about for years, wanting to win an NCAA tournament game and to build a legacy at our school that we can do this. And I'm really excited for us and for the girls that are on the team that are younger than us so that they know that this is possible. And just because we're a Summit League team or whatever else, we're ready to play.
Next question.
Grant Sweeter, Land Sports. You talk about some of the younger girls. I mean, Kaya and Maddie and Allison had some big minutes for you guys today. Just kind of talk about their role in today's game.
I thought they really stepped up. No moment is too big for them. It was fun to watch. We get to see it every day at practice, and so it may come as a shock to some other people, but we see that all the time, and we're just waiting for it to come out, But yeah, great to see those kids have success and really, propel us forward throughout that game.
Skylar Dixon with the AP. Chloe, how much of a difference do you think tournament experience made today, playing a team that hadn't been on this stage in quite a while?
I think any experience is positive, being able to take past experiences and build on those and kind of have an idea. The location and facility is always different, but that experience, I think, as seniors and other kids that have been there, I hope was really helpful for young kids. Yeah.
Michael McClear, Argus leader. Hannah, the very first two plays of the game, you got a steal and then a three. I guess, obviously it's only 3 points, but how big was that immediate momentum grab?
Yeah, I think in any game we want to come out and just, be aggressive and the ball happened to bounce to me, and I'm really glad my shot went in. And I think from there, it just kind of set the tone for our offense and our defense, and it was very positive for us.
Hannah, how much was your focus on defending Shakira? You came in with the Conference Defensive Player of the Year title, and what emphasis was there for you on defending her?
Yeah, Austin is a great player. She's highly awarded for a reason, and she's a huge threat for their team inside. And I think I can't take the credit for the defense on her tonight. That was our team. I had a lot of help inside, and that's why we were able to hold her down.
For either of you, there was some talk yesterday about how they thought that they might shock you guys coming out of the game. I guess, for you guys to grab the momentum immediately, do you feel like there was any underestimating happening, or, you think it's just how the game went?
I think both teams were very prepared for whatever the other team was throwing at them. I think both teams did a really good job at trying to challenge the other team throughout the game, and I thought we just made really, really good adjustments. And I thought, that is, what we had prepared for and what we practiced for early in the season, and going into the game, trusting our preparation and the work that we had done previously. After that's all you can do, right?
Do we have any follow-up questions?
For both of you, you're headed to the second round. You get to play again. How exciting is that, especially as seniors, getting to play another game and move on in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I think we're always grateful to have another game, keep playing together, and keep playing with the rest of our teammates. It's exciting. We'll get ready for it.
Chloe, just kind of back that one up, but do you feel like this, getting this one almost takes some of the pressure off for the next one, just because you don't have the extra, thing hanging over your head about trying so hard for this one thing?
Maybe a little. The success is always brings confidence, and so I think with that, be a little more comfortable going into the next one, and just to see what we can do. Yeah.
We have another question.
Obviously, it was talked about before that you guys came back for this. This was obviously your goal coming into the year. I guess, what was sort of that embrace at the end of the game like?
I don't know if I'm ready to put it to words, but I think just looking around in the last 15 seconds when we knew we had done it, it was a really good feeling, similar to, actually not similar to anything we've experienced before. It's a great feeling though.
All right. I think that concludes our in-person questions, if we have no other follow-ups. But we don't have anybody who's raised their hands in the Zoom conference. We do. We have Zach James. Zach, let us know if you can hear us. And also others who are in the waiting room, if you have a question, if you'll please raise your hand, that's how we will call upon you. But Zach, your question?
I absolutely can hear you all. Ladies, how big were the role players today? I think Maddie had a couple big shots. Kaya took a couple big shots. Allison, which was huge late in that first quarter. How big were the role players today?
Huge. They fearless. That's what they are. They wanted the ball and wanted something to happen when they had the ball. Thought they were very aggressive and made really good decisions. But like I said, we see that all the time. You guys are kind of the odd ones out here seeing that kind of stuff. But yeah, just really proud of them. Again, no moment too big for them. Just playing fearless, and that's when we feel pretty good about our team.
Zach, do you have any other follow-up?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Thank you very much. We have no other hands that are raised in the waiting room, so student athletes, we will dismiss you and
Thank you.
let you all go back to the locker room. And we will take questions now for head coach Don Plitzwhite.
You're 2 for 2.
All right, we've got a question up front.
Dawn, how do you articulate how proud of the big three? Just start with them, just because of how badly they wanted this. Let's throw Reagan in there too, because she's part of the senior class, and you always make sure to mention that. But just for them to get this, I mean, and to be their head coach for it, what's that mean to you?
It's unbelievable, Jay. It's just these young ladies have been incredible leaders in our program, and in the way that they work, in the way that they communicate with each other, in the way that they lead us in terms of making sure that we're recovered and ready to go. And so for them to want something so badly and then to do the right things still doesn't ensure that you're going to even have a chance to get it. And they have a chance now to enjoy that. They work their tails off for it, and they got it. And so, yeah, really proud of them. Just really, I think they've learned some great lessons. Even before we came to the press conference, Chloe made sure that she talked to the younger players about different scenarios, and I think Hannah mentioned it, leaving a legacy, and that's really important to them. And for them, it's more than just trying to win basketball games. They want to leave a legacy, and this is the way that we do things. And so they're just impressive young ladies. There are 4 seniors in Reagan, Liv, Chloe, and Hannah.
At what point did you know it was going to be a good day?
Well, I thought we had a really aggressive week of practice, and I thought yesterday after we started our practice here when you guys were there, and we weren't very good, and we couldn't score, and we weren't guarding each other. We were wide open, and so at that point in time, I didn't feel very good about what it was going to look like. And then as we were on the court a little bit longer, we felt a little bit better. And then as we were working through some of our things defensively, just thought our kids were in a really good mind space, and they really were locked in. And then we went back and went through a little bit of film and just kind of watched some things. And so I think after we got through our practice yesterday, I just felt at peace with, I didn't know how we were going to play, but just really felt at peace with, I think our players have done what they need to do. I feel like our coaches have put together a great game plan, and now it's just a matter of, can we execute? Can we make shots? The first possession of the game, the ball doesn't look very clean. Didn't look like we were going to get anything offensively. And then at the end of the shot clock, Hannah hits a 3. And so sometimes in the game of basketball, things kind of go your way. And I think there were times in this game that things kind of went our way. And certainly that helps you feel more comfortable and confident. And so I also think some things went their way. I thought there were at least, of their four threes that they hit in the first half, we contested all 4 of them, and 2 of them were at the end of the shot clock. And so some things kind of went their way too. And I think that's the game. That is the game of basketball. There's some momentum shifts, but I just think our young ladies had a really good demeanor about the whole thing.
You mentioned yesterday possibly sending more people into the post without giving things away. I guess were there any new wrinkles added to the defense just in these couple days?
Well, yes, we can't guard. We can't guard Austin one-on-one. We can't front her because we can't get to the lob pass. We're not big enough to do that, and so we had to make some adjustments. And I thought they made some good adjustments and kicked it out and shot it. So yeah, I don't know that it was a surprise necessarily to Coach Yo and her staff. I think they know because they've watched us play against other teams with great size. No, I think playing against some of those teams has really helped us too, just to be aware of different things for us.
Times struggled against some taller players. Maybe not statistically, but is this one of the best games that she's ever played?
Yeah, I thought Hannah played great. I really did. And you mentioned the role players, and what we talked about in the locker room after the game was our big 3 do a lot for us, and they get a lot of recognition, and they deserve all the recognition that they get. But this was a game when we needed other players to make things happen, and so gave a shout out to the 3 players that have been mentioned in here. Allison Popolski in the first quarter, Allison Popolski in the third quarter when Hannah was on the bench. I thought she played outstanding. I thought Kaya Watson was in a stretch where we couldn't really get some good shots, and she did a great job attacking the rim. And she hunted some open 3s that didn't go in for her, but they were really good shots. And then, Maddie Krall made a lot of really important things happen for us on top of, you have to defend on the perimeter the whole time, pick the ball up and get through ball screens and help and then get back. And so we asked a lot out of those 3, and I thought they really, really played with great confidence and composure.
Dawn, this is what, Ole Miss is one of the top defensive teams in the country, and you guys were able to find a way to score efficiently. What was it that really worked on that side of the ball?
Well, like I said, I thought we learned a lot from watching our offense against SEC teams that defended us. So we didn't score against South Carolina, and I understand their defenses are slightly different in how they do things, but they're both a man-to-man, and we didn't score against South Carolina, and then we didn't score against Texas A&M in the second half, and so went back and studied those things and tried to figure out, are there certain things we can do that are out of our comfort zone? We have to tweak things, we have to change things just so we can get shots against a team like Ole Miss. So I thought our players really adjusted to that and adjusted really well to it.
With it being 4 straight tournament appearances, what was your feeling going in on how experience could help you, and how do you think that manifested itself as the game went along?
Well, I think it's a great question because I do think being here makes a big difference. I do. I do think that even in practice yesterday, I think we kind of felt it because there's an excitement level. Like when we were in Starkville and we went to the NCAA tournament, and it was the first time that we had done that. There was this just jubilee, this excitement, and then this rah-rah emotion about it. And yes, we played pretty well. Didn't play well down in the third, fourth quarter. Kind of got missed some assignments. But anyway, but I thought we understood this time. Now then, we went last year and did not play well in the first half. We played great in the second half. We didn't play well in the first half. And so we started, I think our players understood that there's a time and a place. We talk a lot about the precious present. There's a time and a place. And we told them that after this game. There's a time and a place now. And we don't even know what this looks like because we haven't done this before. We don't know. Are we supposed to stay and watch the next team, the game? Are we supposed to recover? How much time do you get with your family? So those are all things we told them. We're going to figure this out. And our kids are pretty good at being in that moment. Hey, you want to giggle and laugh and have a great time? That's great. Now it's time to lock in. Now it's time to giggle and laugh and have a great time. And those could be 30 seconds apart from each other, And so our players have a lot of fun with it. They have a great sense of humor, and I don't know that anybody teases me any more than Hannah Shervin does. So, I think it's a fun environment to be around these young ladies.
Obviously, from a seeds perspective, it was an upset. But in the way that you guys internalized this win, do you feel like it was an upset?
I thought we played really well. I think Ole Miss is really, really good, and I honestly didn't think it was a great draw for us when I saw it. I really did, and I thought this is going to be incredibly challenging because we haven't been able to score against SEC teams. We haven't done that, and so and then we look at their defense, and they're just a lockdown defensive team. So again, felt like that was going to be really, really challenging for us, and maybe things just kind of went our way, starting with Hannah's 3 at the first possession of the game. So, I don't know if it's how I feel, if it's an upset or not. I thought our kids just played really good basketball today. Probably, certainly the best that we've played all year.
All right, if we have no other questions here, we'll go quickly to Zoom, and we've got Zach James. Zach?
Don, how well did the girls rebound? I know they out-rebounded you by 32-31, but did it seem like that the girls scratched the glass well today?
Well, it's funny because we talked about it, Zach, before we started, after we played against Oregon last year in the NCAA tournament and really got it taken to us early in that game, and we couldn't rebound with them. It felt like we were probably one of the few teams in the country that worked on 2 things on our first day of our summer workouts. One of them was rebounding, and one of them was press break scenarios because those really hurt us in our game against Oregon. And so when the one thing that we did say when our matchup came out is, the 2 things that we practiced right away after last year are 2 things that are going to be really crucial in this game. So the effort that our players put into, young ladies put into rebounding, I thought was absolutely outstanding.
How well did Allison, Maddie, Kaya, those 3 play? Talk to me a little bit more about how those 3 played today.
Yeah, Zach, they were incredible. I think they were difference makers in this game. Certainly the big 3 have a lot of attention that's drawn to them, and so at some point in time, other players have to make things happen because those kids are being really tightly guarded, and sometimes, you really have to help on them because they can make things happen. And so other players had to find a way, and that's on the offensive end. On the defensive end, I thought all three of them were absolutely outstanding as well. I thought they did just a tremendous job. We had to switch how we were guarding ball screens in that third quarter, and Allison was someone who got us going. That she's a great communicator. I thought Kaya was one who, I don't know how many rebounds she ended up with. She ended up with only 4 rebounds, but boy, there were a lot of rebounds that she tipped, and then her teammates came up with them, and she did a great job defensively. And Maddie, I think, certainly runs our defense, starts our defense for us, and really makes a lot of things happen. And we were asking her to really get into spots where she could be a big-time helper and then also get back and then guard one-on-one, and that's really hard because your angle to defend at that point in time is really, really challenged. I thought she did a great job.
All right. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Coach. We appreciate it. We'll see you again tomorrow, and then good luck on. We welcome Ole Miss to the podium. Again, just another reminder, this is a hybrid news conference, both in person and via Zoom. If you are joining us by Zoom, please use the raise hand function to indicate you have a question. And as soon as we finish the in-person questions, we will get to Zoom. Also, we ask all reporters when asking a question to please identify yourself by name and media affiliation. We thank you for that. We are joined by Ole Miss head coach Yolette McPhee-McEwen, and also student athletes Angel Baker and Shakira Austin. And we will begin with an opening statement from Coach McPhee-McEwen.
I just want to give kudos to South Dakota. I felt like they came out and played a complete game. They were clearly the more experienced team, and they looked like it for 40 minutes. I felt like each team would have an opportunity to show their style, and whatever style dominated the most would be successful. Obviously, their style worked better for them. With that being said, at the same time, I'm just extremely proud of our team. Just 2 years ago, we didn't win a game in conference, and for 14 years, coaches and teams and players have tried to get to this spot that we were in today and have fell short. I've been a part of 3 of those years, but I always knew where we were building. And for us to be here right now, and it gives me great joy, and it also gives me assurance to know that the program is headed in the right direction. And so I'm not going to let that get lost in the fact that we didn't win a game today. We'll be back, and and we'll continue to grow. That South Dakota team, I think I read 3 times they came and lost in the first round. It was their time. Like I told you all, I always have respect for South Dakota and Coach Don, and I felt like it was their time. So kudos to them. But I think that we sent a message today that this is our time, and this is where we're going to move forward and grow as a program.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. We'll get to questions to you in just a few minutes, but we have questions for our student athletes.
Michael Katz, Daily Journal, Shakira. I saw you kind of embrace your teammates on the floor at the final buzzer. Just what are you kind of going through right now?
They embraced me. It was just, it just hit me at once, that my senior season is over, my college career is over, and that's not how I wanted to leave, Ole Miss. But like Coach Joe said, it is in the right direction. It was just overwhelming. I just love my teammates, and now I have to move on to the next chapter. So, yeah.
Any other questions? And we'll follow up here after. Okay.
Jay Olson from Midco Sports. Shakira, how were they able to frustrate you today?
I think I was just pretty winded. I wasn't able to really make shots. They were calling, some flops. And I definitely allowed it to get in my head for a few moments. Just frustrated that, we weren't able to continuously build stops. It's just kind of like I don't know. It was tough. It was definitely tough.
Angel, from your perspective, I think it was 14 points or whatever halftime. You got down to 6, and then they kind of went on a run. From your perspective, why weren't you guys able to kind of turn that corner and I guess kind of really kind of make a final push?
I just think we couldn't put enough stops together, back to back. You know what I'm saying? We were going to run, and then we just couldn't put enough stops together.
I'm Evie Van Pelt with the Rebel Block. For either of you or all of y'all, I know it's hard right now, but can you yet appreciate the sense of what you've given to this program and what you've meant and how you've kind of set it on a different trajectory?
It's definitely hard right now. It's hard right now.
It's definitely hard right now in the moment, but I'm very proud of our team. We're going in the right direction, and I think, we're going in the right direction for sure.
We have any other questions here? All right, if not, I don't know if we've got any who have raised their hands in the Zoom call. So student athletes, Shakira and Angel, you can go ahead and head back to the locker room, and we'll take questions for Coach. Thank you. All right, questions for Coach?
Coach, we talked a lot about defense for both sides. Both of you have very stout units on that end of the floor. The word shock got thrown around a couple of times yesterday.
Not by me.
No. It did. Did South Dakota surprise you
No.
at all with how they were able to handle your defense?
Yeah, the word shock wasn't thrown around by me, and I'm the head coach, so I know South Dakota, and I told you I respect them tremendously. So I thought everything went as it would have. It would have been one or two ways. Ours would have been more aggressive and more effective, or theirs would have been more aggressive and more effective, and theirs theirs were ours was less effective, I thought.
You've talked about experience being a thing in big games, and at what point did you kind of see it rear its head today and know it was going to be a factor?
When I think 34 hit that three, because we had said we didn't want her to hit that three because it would give everybody on their team confidence. And so I thought once she hit that three, it gave them that momentum. And it kind of felt like it did in the past, maybe when we didn't win a game, where we couldn't get offense going, and then all of a sudden we allowed it to dictate what we did on the defensive end. And so that's just a sign of a young team. I think experienced teams know who they are. And like, we're a defensive team, but sometimes we don't act like we're the offensive team. Like, who cares that we scored 12 points in the first quarter? Why just make them score 12? You know what I mean? Or if we score 15, then just make them score 15. But we didn't. And I knew that they were the more experienced team coming in, and I just felt it from the jump.
Another follow-up here.
I know Shakira had kind of a tough night.
Yeah.
It seemed like there were a lot of missed shots around the rim. Was that anything that they were doing, or those just kind of missed opportunities on your guys' end?
Yeah, I mean, I think someone asked her about what frustrated her. I mean, I just want to go on the record, like, Kira gets triple teamed every game, from Aaliyah Boston to, Hannah, the young lady Hannah. I don't want to mispronounce her last name. So I don't know that it was them, more so her. She still got up 16 shots. If you had told me that my best player would have gone 3 for 16, I would have said that you were lying. I know that. So it's not like they locked her down. Locked down is like she got maybe 5 shots. She got the shots, she just missed them. And she's not, it's not like she has never experienced triple and quadruple teams. She sees that all the time. I just thought the moment just overwhelmed her, like she said, and it was tough because it was the pressure she probably put on herself. I think Kira coming here, and that just doesn't happen. Like, people of her caliber don't come and say, I'm going to come to this program and build it. And she's been carrying that on her shoulders for the 2 years she's been here. And I felt like at this moment it just reared its head, and she was completely frustrated. And I'm not taking that away from South Dakota. I'm talking about a 21-year-old that said, I'm going to do something that no one else does. Even LeBron tries to get 3 people to come and join his team, right? She came and bet on herself, and there's been a lot of pressure, a lot of scrutiny, a lot of sacrifices, a lot of fight. And I thought today it just brought everything in, and that's what you saw with her on the floor, unfortunately.
All right, if we have no other in-person questions, we do have 2, Coach, that are, or at least 3 right now. Let's start with Courtney Robb from WCBI. Courtney?
Yeah, Coach. Courtney Robb, WCBI. Just after, the game ended, I guess, what was your initial message to your team, making it all this way, and then obviously not exactly going the way you guys were sort of hoping and anticipating?
Yeah, my message to the group, I wanted them to understand what just happened, all right, that we got beat by an experienced group that has been here several times and has fallen short and has learned from it. But I also wanted them to understand that that they shouldn't allow anybody to take away what has been done. Um, you know, fans think you should win right away. Fans don't know what they're talking about. When you're building a program and you're not cheating and you're doing things the right way, it takes time. And I just expressed to them how proud I was for us to be here. Because 2 years ago, we were 0-16 in conference. And I think the most competitive conference in the country. And so for us to build and be where we are today, I said, you're not going to feel it right now, but when you get a chance, take it in and understand that what you have done is remarkable. And so there are people out there that are going to try to tell them that to keep their head up, or, you know, you should have done this and you should have done that. And I just didn't want anybody to rain on their parade because that would be a lie. I don't think people understand how hard it is to build a program. And honestly, this is happening way sooner than maybe one would think it should, you know? And so that's what I told them. I even brought up the Kentucky. Everyone's mad, oh, Kentucky lost, Kentucky lost. Kentucky has 1 million one-year players. Of course they're going to lose to a team that had 4-year players. South Dakota had 5th-year players on their team. I don't have any 5th-year players on my team that's been with me. And so I wanted to make that point that this is the beginning. And I thanked our seniors because they came and did what I asked them to do, help me jumpstart this thing. And so just how I said, it's NCAA tournament or bust, I can boldly say that we'll be back. And that was the message that I wanted them to have.
All right, let's go now to Nick Suss. Nick is with the Clarion Ledger.
Going off of that, you talked at the top, you said that you want it to be your time next. What do you take from this to kind of make that happen, and kind of what needs to be done this offseason to ensure you can keep things rolling?
Yeah, well, we're going to have to be active in the transfer portal. I wasn't blessed with the transfer portal when I first came. I had to do things organically. So I had to get my head beat in for 2 years. We didn't have the transfer portal. But now that we do, the rules have changed. So we have to recruit, but we can't just bring in talent. You know, we have to bring in younger pieces that we can grow with. I'm not a fan of the 1-year kid. Not too many of them. Obviously, Monk came and she was incredible for us. But I would prefer younger kids because you have to give them time. For example, like Maddie, Kate, Snutter will be completely different next year. You know, this was their first time at it. And so it's tough. So as CEOs and getting into this portal, you have to be careful. We're going to be careful on who we bring in. We can't bring in a bunch of 1-years. You know, we have to have a healthy mix. And so that's what we're going to be looking to do. Just have a healthy balance and mix of players that can help us do this so that we don't have to just tear up the sheet and start all over again, you know, every year. So I'm real grateful, Nick, that, you know, we have some returners that has experienced this.
All right, one last question. Dorothy Gentry.
Coach, hi. Thanks for your time. Coach, you talked about what you told the team after this game. What did you say to yourself as you prepare for the future?
Dorothy, you always have the best questions. You know what I said to myself? I said, yo, you can't skip steps. You know, you just can't skip steps. My whole life, I've had to do things in order, you know. I didn't have the opportunity to get a job where I was left with a bunch of stars and 5th-year seniors and et cetera. You know, I wasn't as talented as Angel and Kira. I didn't play in the WNBA. My coach wasn't a legendary coach that could make a call and get me a job. What you're seeing is someone that has started from the bottom and worked my way up. And so why would I think that we'd be able to come here and do something in year one? That hasn't been my life for 39 years. I've had to earn everything that I've gotten. And so what I said to myself is, you can't skip steps. This is where we are. There's a lot to be excited about, and we have to continue on the journey, and we're just beginning.
All right. Thank you very much,
Thanks.
Coach. We appreciate your time. A recording of this press